Hello there, Emmanuel is my name from Dotsaidia Systems. In this brief video, I'm going to make a demonstration on how any subject teacher uses her account in order to manage the new curriculum information as well as keeping the records and all those related activities. So, in the previous video, we saw how a teacher is added into the system. And when she has been given her account by the school administrators, she's able to access using her phone or computer. In this demonstration, you may follow the same procedure as a subject teacher in order to conduct your duties on the system. When you open your browser, I'm going to demonstrate using Google Chrome browser. So what you do, you just type in dotshule.ug. Once you type it in your IP address bar, you are able to access the login page. And now that the teacher already customized her account, she's called Teacher Ankunda Eve, and that is her username. With her password saved on her gadget, she's able to access and open the school. So as you can see, the system is very user-friendly. Everything is right there for the teacher. Information is all organized in regard to where it belongs, whether fees, the current term activities, results, files, teachers, scholars, communication, and all that. Now, as for the new curriculum, when the teacher is preparing for the lesson, first of all, these teachers converge as the subject teachers. They converge and they work as a team to develop these activities of integration, because now the new curriculum emphasizes the assessing of learner in a formative way that looks at all those dimensions, from the skills to the knowledge and the application of the traits they develop, as well as other dimensions. Now, what the teachers do, they are going to develop activities of integration as subject teachers. When that activity is done, it is required for one teacher to at least capture this activity into the system, such that now we can also update other details, other records about that activity. This is the procedure the teacher uses in order to update the activities into the system. The teacher will go to academics, click planning, then click manage lesson plans. Because she has been assigned by the directors of studies, this is the subject. This is the only class she teaches in the school. Then he clicks OK. Her subject will appear right there. Because she's a new teacher in this school, when you click on the subject, you can see the activities fall in different topics or chapters. Likewise, any teacher is required to first update the topic or chapter before capturing the activities of integration. For our sample topic, for example, is environmental conservation. That is our topic for this demo. Then the teacher will click add. Now the topic has been captured into the system. Now, why is it topic 6? Is because the first 5 topics were covered in the previous term. Since we have added this topic, now the teacher may want to capture the activities of integration that were conducted under that topic. This is done before the teacher goes to the class to start conducting this activity. Now the teacher will click on the topic to access the features for adding activities of integration or even lesson plans. For example, for activities of integration, the teacher clicks on that and the feature to add will appear. So the moment the teacher clicks on add, all the details about the activities of integration will be listed in that, will be entered in that area. So our title is just for the purpose of capturing marks, because the system needs to know that these marks a teacher is entering belong to this activity in geography or another. So the title may be the same as the topic, environmental conservation. The competence, so as the teacher types this competence, it will automatically apply to all senior ones who are taking geography, because this activity is done by only one teacher on the system, one subject teacher, and it would apply to all other subjects. So this is how we encourage the teamwork. We encourage collaboration of teachers such that they come up with something that is ideal as they are communicating to their stakeholders. Now the competence in this activity was the learner understands the various ways in which the environment can be conserved and preserved. So once this competence is captured, now we can go ahead and give the details about the activity scenario. A certain place in Uganda faces a problem of high temperatures and low rains. So these are just the sample demo activities, but this is for guidance as to the teachers who are entering these activities in the system. But we expect the teacher to come up with the content for each activity depending on the subject they are teaching. Now, where we place the task is more like the expected outcome, and this is what we expect the learners to produce. Prepare an article to be used in sensitizing the people in such areas. Then the support materials, whichever material that we applied in that activity, this is where we give the details of that material. If the internet applied to that activity, we can list it. We can list the learner's guide. So all those materials. Sometimes there could be some pictures or video scripts. The system has an e-learning center where a teacher can update these materials, and here write a statement, refer to the e-learning center for the support materials. So the moment the teacher adds this information, he or she will click add, and this activity will be captured. When you click on the activity, the details are there about that activity. So why do we put this information into, why do we avail this platform to teachers, is that it simplifies the way how communication is done. A parent who wants to know what they do, who wants to learn about the new curriculum, they are going to refer to that using their accounts. Likewise, for the directors of studies, they may want to know the exact activities that were conducted in a certain lesson, so they will also try to they access the information from the place, from the same using the same program. So if the teacher wants to edit, they can click edit, and they put the details. Maybe here we had the internet, then refer to the e-learning center. So whenever you want to make corrections and maybe something has been missed out, you just click the edit button and you save. And we know, under the new curriculum, we know that a topic can have one or more activities of integration depending on the learning outcomes. Likewise, on the system, we don't restrict a topic to have only one activity. You may find that this activity achieved some learning outcomes, but it did not achieve all of them. So when the teacher develops a second activity of integration, they'll just click the add activity and they develop that information following the same guide as we did in the first activity. When that is done with the activities of integration, the teacher can as well go ahead to plan for the lesson. Remember, these activities are done before as the teacher is preparing for the lesson. So under the subject geography, the teacher can click geography and click environmental conservation as the topic. Activities of integration, they are there. Then lesson plans, we click on lesson plans and then she clicks add lesson plan. This will provide the other details on how to add the lesson plan. As you can see, it all follows what the lesson plan template for NCDC, from the theme to subtopic to the competence and the learning outcomes and all that information. Once the teacher adds all this information, she will just click add lesson plan. So this acts as the reference point, so that even when this teacher wants to refer to this information, retrieving it is very simple because it was stored a long time ago into the system. So when the lessons are done, now what we are left with, we are going to see how the teacher conducts the lesson. For example, if you want to view, before I go to that, we can go to planning to view lesson plans. For example, my lesson plans, you can see even the number of years and the term. So this is how the staff is able to get a lesson plan of, say, 2017, but this staff is new, so she won't have any lesson plan. She was not in school by then, but we can give her 2022 and second term, senior one. So you can see she has geography. So in case she wants to view her activities of integration, they are always there. Sometimes the lesson plan may also be there, but you can see we didn't add the lesson plan. That is how a staff member is able to plan for the lesson and update this activity. However, this information is only accessed by the staff. But if it was the DOS user account, the DOS will be able to see lesson plans of each and every staff members. That's how the system works. Now, in the next session, I want to take you briefly through a demo that will show us how teachers are able to conduct lessons of the new curriculum, lessons in S1 and S2. So what you're going to do under that arrangement, when the teacher has logged in, because for the new curriculum we are looking at the application of triangulation, where teachers have conversations with their learners, observe what learners are doing, and also assess the products they produce in class during the lessons. Now here, as the teacher is coming to class, remember we set the study periods and the timetable. Now the teacher is going to take attendance. It is a requirement when they are conducting a lesson. So the teacher will go to academics, clicks attendance, then at the bottom, so this activity can be conducted even on a smartphone or computer. So the date is 25th July. However, the system can allow a teacher to even take attendance of the previous 2 days in cases where maybe the school may not have power for almost a whole day or two. So it is better during that time for a teacher to be able to record the attendance of the previous day. But for today, let's sample 25th July. And to save time when taking attendance, the teacher can take attendance by only those who are absent. So those are the ones we are going to identify. The class is Senior 1 and the stream is Senior 1A. Already, as a subject teacher for geography, geography will be brought right there under subjects. The moment I click continue, this is where our class list is. Now I'm going to give a write some brief about the topic that I'm teaching about on this date, and the date is, rather the topic is about environmental conservation. My lesson began at 11 a.m. and it ended at 12 p.m. Then since now we are recording by those who are absent, you may find that the whole class, everyone is in class, so I will not tick anyone. I'll just give a summary about the lesson. Maybe the lesson was interesting and all that, as it's supposed to be. The lesson was interesting. Students were all participative and active because they enjoyed really the environmental, this topic. So as you can see, this comment column is just there for a parent who's logging a reason for her child's absence. You might find that the father of Nagudi Esther, you might find that the father logged the reason that maybe my child is sick. So as the teacher is taking attendance, because the father logged this reason using his account at home, my child is sick, automatically as the teacher is taking attendance, this child will come with this, it will come when it is like this, because the system was updated that this child is not in the class. Unless when the teacher is taking attendance and Nagudi might have come back, so the teacher can revoke this, so that now the system considers that Nagudi has finally come for the geography lesson. So this is the essence why this column is right there. So the moment you finish giving all these details, you are able to save the changes. Now for administrators, as you can see, the account I'm using is for a teaching staff, but they can also check out the class lesson daily attendance report. So when you choose a class, like say on that date, and you choose senior 1 as the class, senior 1A, any subject that took attendance, you will be able to see. You can see the subject this. If history also takes attendance, physics, math, all those columns will be listed, added onto this report. So for an administrator, maybe wants to know why was Nagudi Esther not in the class, they just click on the subject and it will give them the details. Maybe my child is sick and it was logged by the father. So if it was the father, here I logged this reason as a teacher. That's why it has shown. That's why it showed that it was logged by the teacher. If it was the father, it would show that this is the mother or father who logged this reason. So that is how attendance is taken. Now the other most important is about observation recording, because we know that these observations make part of the report body. It is important for teachers to start observing learners and record these observations as early as possible, such that the teacher can save time when they are ending the term. How are observations recorded into the system? Using the teacher's account. As you can see, these network issues are usually common, but once it is restored, you can always click on that refresher icon, which is dashboard refresh, and then you get moving. Otherwise the experience may not be good if you don't refresh. So what you're going to do here, how do teachers record observations? As the teacher is teaching in the class, or as they are conducting a lesson, the teacher will just go to academics, results. There's a shortcut for results here, but it still gives you the same details. So as a subject teacher, you can see enter scholar subject performance remarks. So this is where we record observations on all those lessons. So you can choose a class, senior 1, and the stream is senior 1A, subject is geography. Now we can record observations on either topic activities of integration or projects. So for topic activities of integration, this is where the competence we added already, it applied to all the students of S1. You can see the details about this competence, and it was for environmental conservation, which was our topic 6. The scores are not yet entered in the system, that's why they are dashes, but that does not stop a teacher from commenting on his or her learners. Like now, teacher Ankunda has been observing Atuhamia Janan, and she discovered that Atuhamia has teamwork skills. For example, teamwork. She can give the details about the way how Atuhamia Janan demonstrates this skill. Maybe, for example, Janan is a good team player. He always encourages his group member to get the task done in time. So we see how the context, and the moment this teacher updates, she will just click save. This observation will automatically be reserved for the report card of this child, to be reserved for the report card. Tomorrow she may observe even some new skill, confidence. So we're going to write about this skill because we are looking at a competency based. So how does Janan demonstrate the confidence? How does he demonstrate the confidence skills? Maybe we can say he is very confident when presenting and whichever that apply, the dimension in which the confidence applies. So these skills will both appear on Janani's report card. So now we also have a column for the general observation, which are considered the general remarks. So here you are able to see, now we have our sample student also, Omodo Ismail. So with this, the teacher is able to know which students that have never been observed in her class. So this way the system allows the teacher to even invite, maybe today the teacher has an intention of observing Omodo Ismail. She's going to call him and nominate him to lead the group and check out whether this child has leadership skills. So if Omodo accepts the nomination and takes up a group and performs perfectly, the teacher will discover that indeed this one has got some leadership in him. So as a leader, there are those qualities. So those are the qualities she's going to talk about under the dynamic skills. He is a good leader. And always ready to take up responsibilities. So whichever context, the teacher will give a comment about that. Just like for the general observations, the geography teacher may give something. For example, Ismail is able, how does he behave in the class? How does he engage with others? How does is he a mover of, getting the work done? All that is very participative in class. He was able to identify some unique ways of preserving the environment, because this was extraordinary. Maybe he got it from somewhere, but it was too extraordinary. Unique ways of preserving the environment. You can even talk about which way. Maybe he maybe recycling, because the article they presented in the activity of integration, he also looked at the recycling and using the plastics for something else. So that's where we can put those other details. So this observation will automatically be taken to, will be also appearing on this child's report card under some of the comments under geography section. So if the teacher is to enter scores, you'll find that these observations are the ones which act as the justification for why this child is moderate or why he is outstanding. So that is how the teachers record the observations in the classroom. But we know that the new curriculum not only considers competencies in the classroom, it also caters for the outside competencies out of the classroom. So any teacher is able to update the comments on the scholars' performance remarks out of the class. Any teacher or any staff member in the school is able to update that information. So what the teacher will do, go to academics, click results. Then any staff member has this right, whether support staff, make remarks on scholar co-curricular performance. So as you can see, this staff member is not yet been given a lot of rights, but we shall demonstrate that how it appears using one of the administrator's account. So as a subject teacher, she has given an activity and she's going now to award learners with their scores. The procedure is very simple. This subject teacher will go to results. At the bottom she has this right, teacher subject marks entry. Then she'll select the class as senior 1 and the stream senior 1A. Marks may be in form of topic activity of integration or projects. Now for some schools which give out a few assessments just to see how ready their children are, this one is reserved for assessment, the one which contributes 80%, the summative assessments. But for topic activities of integration, scores are entered once one categorizes to topic activity of integration. Then the subject is geography. Now the topic which the teacher added, all the topics will appear. But for now we have environmental conservation, and the activities that were done under that topic will also appear. The moment you click continue, our race is summarized under the marks which the teacher marked out of. Maybe if they used one basis of evaluation, she will select 10, or she used the two bases of evaluation, she will select 19, and so on. For 28 for 3 bases of evaluation. Now if the teacher marked out of 19, she will start to award the scores, but you know there is a maximum mark and there is a minimum mark. So with the minimum, if a teacher enters anything less than 6, the system will be able to notify her. So maybe she got 14, here this one got 9, 10. So as the teacher is entering marks for these, or these are the raw marks, as the teacher is entering marks, even when there are many, still it will notify that the marks are of greater value at that position 8, you can see. So we can clear that. This is supposed to be a 13. So we see that here teachers only enter raw marks, and as they enter raw marks, the marks automatically are saved by the system. So the moment the teacher is done with all those marks, she may want to confirm whether they have been saved into the system. And the moment she clicks save, automatically you will see that now the marks are captured. So those are the only activities required by a teacher, and at the bottom there is enter activity of integration remarks in case she wants to continue with the activities of integration. So you can see that even the system has already computed and given a descriptor as is supposed to appear on the report cards for each and every learner. You can see Omodo Ismail is outstanding and he has leadership skills, so we can now justify right from the observation made by the teacher why he's outstanding. In cases where he's basic, you might find that he's not participative in the class, and therefore the other comment will apply for anyone that is non-participative and is not willing to contribute towards that class. That is how the teacher uses the system to manage the new curriculum details. Thank you for watching. In the next video, we shall look at how administrators process report cards for the learners. Thanks for watching once again.